Hello farmers, welcome back to Selendra. Just going over my checklist, what I need to do today in the month of October. Already done quite a few things actually, taking care of the production buildings, getting all the planks out of storage and making a nice little pile over there. Brought the wool over to the spinnery, took care of all the fabric, getting that out of storage and putting a nice little pile over there. I checked on the animals, no sheep to be sold today. None of the sheep are worth 1,000, so we're going to go ahead and let them mature a little bit more before we sell them. I did go ahead and cut down another tree, and we got a trailer load of firewood to go sell first thing this morning. I do have some firewood that's kind of clipping to the trailer, but no firewood left behind. So, yeah, the sawmill, the spinnery are good for the day. All the animals are pretty much good for the day. I may need to feed one of the horse stables. I think it's this one right here. It's getting kind of low, but with only 2 horses in there, I think they'll be fine a little bit longer. So I could possibly wait another month actually on them. But let's go ahead and sell this firewood, bring in some cash. I was just going over my financial situation here on the farm. We owe another $820,000 on the loan. And with our goal trying to get the loan paid off by the end of next year, it is looking a little bit better because the firewood's actually paying off. This will be the second trailer on the 3rd attempt of doing the firewood. So last episode, we brought a trailer over, and I think we got, what, $7 grand for it? It wasn't even a full trailer. This trailer is kind of full. So can I get like 10 grand for this? If I get 10 grand for this, that'll be fantastic. I would like to get the loan down to 800,000 by the end of today. I don't know if we'll be able to do that, but we'll see. So I got to find that trigger again. This trigger is a little tricky to find. We don't have it on. If I bring up the HUD, I might actually be parked right over it, honestly. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's go, Ted, turn it back on here. I think I'm probably parked right on it. And where is it? Is it hidden in the tractor? Nope, it's right next, it's on the other side. All right, this wasn't quite into it. All right, so how much for this wood? $11,662. That is great. Yeah, so I actually do have the money to get the loan down to 800,000, but I need to buy some lime today because we got to go lime those sorghum fields that need to be taken care of. I want to get those fields taken care of so I don't have to think about them until next year when it's time for planting. So that's going to be second thing on our list. First thing on our list was to sell the firewood. And once we get those fields taken care of, then we can start cutting some grass and start the process of getting that ready to be made into silage bales because we're going to need to sell those in January. And of course, it takes 3 months for them to ferment. Now, let me go ahead. I'm just going to park this trailer over here because I'll probably, I'll be doing more firewood. I'm not sure if it'll be this episode or not, but possibly later on this in this month itself. Let's grab the Deutz. It does have some lime in it. Remember, we had a container of lime over there, and it had a few liters into it. Not enough to get the job done for sure. So let's go to the store and start purchasing some lime. Probably take a few trips. We only got 2 fields to do, but it's probably going to take like 4 trips, maybe 5 trips back and forth to the store to top off with some lime. And then we got to mulch 2 more fields over there, and then we're all set. And then we just take our John Deere mower, convert it back over from a mulcher over to a mower, and then we can get the grass cut. That's kind of what I want to get done here today. We'll see if we can get it all done. I think we can. Doesn't take too long with the John Deere zipping around getting things taken care of because it's a big implement for the map that we have, and the speed is relatively good. So $60 for lime to top it off. Okay, that's cheaper than I thought it was. But then again, I didn't really have a good look at how much was in the spreader. I thought it was usually like $150 to top this off with lime. Alright, so the 2 fields that are mulched are all set for lime. I do love the month of October in Farming Simulator just because of the way the leaves start to change colors. It's very nicer on the map. So this will help our production on the fields by 15% by getting the fields lined up. And already, I should probably turn the lime off there, but Okay, so it's probably going to be more than 4 or 5 trips. But at least we're covering a good area, I think. And the Deutz slowing down a little bit on the hill there. I was probably using more lime than I actually needed to, but what are you going to do about it? It's the kind of thing going back from playing Farming Simulator one way compared to another, meaning with precision farming or without. The amount of lime or fertilizer you may use, depending on the soil type, or when you're not using precision farming, the base game that you use. I just did some lime spreading on hinterland, on a grass field, and it hardly took any lime whatsoever. At least at the rate that it uses it, I should say. So I know I said 4 or 5 trips, but it could be a few more trips back and forth. So overnight fees were not too bad. I did go to bed with about 11 grand in the bank account and woke up with, I think we had like 10 grand. And that was also paying $500 for the wood splitter because we had to pay a daily fee on that. So I probably would have broken even at that point. But yeah, the wood splitting is starting to go better now. They got a better understanding of the best way, I think, to use it. Just doing like the bottom 1/3 of a spruce tree is probably the way to go. Yeah, the third tree I tried going a little bit further than I normally was doing, and I got to the point to where the log was going right through the wood splitter. I'm like, okay, this is the section. So I just kept on pushing the log forward until it stopped at that triangle piece again, and it cut and it split the wood just fine. But I was only getting 1 piece of firewood, not 2, which means there wasn't enough liters of wood in that to keep on splitting. So that's when you just gotta, I think, just stop and bring the rest of the tree on over to the sawmill. Now, someone did mention they wonder if the sawmill was doing the same thing as the wood splitter. So that whole chunk of tree that went through the wood splitter, where it did recognize as wood, and it cut, I brought it over to the sawmill, and it was a good sized piece of a log. When I put it into the sawmill, it only took in like 200 liters of wood. So yeah, I think it's doing the same thing at the sawmill. It doesn't recognize it as a tree. Not much we can do about that. I guess it's just the way giants have trees in Farming Simulator, I suppose. For some reason, that there is just a dead spot in the tree. Now, it might be because the way it's coated, and that's where the trees grow from. So when they go from one stage to another, it somehow expands in that coating area. I have no idea. But, yeah, it is what it is. Not much we can do about it. We get that there. Spin around a few times. So just getting back on the financial situation, like I said, we owe $820,000 on the loan. I would love to get it down to $800,000 by the end of this episode, which it's possible. Just get some more firewood and we'll be all set. And looking at our stock market, if I look at what we have in storage, currently we have about $400,000 worth of material in storage. So it is looking pretty good. If we just keep selling some sheep, if I keep doing the firewood, it's very possible by the end of next year. It's looking better and better. We'll have the loan paid off. Of course, we'll have some silage bales that we're going to be making here in this month. So that'll add probably like another $20,000 to that total. And of course, every time we pay off a little bit of that loan, we save a little bit of money every month. Imagine the store. I keep coming back like every minute. It's like I need some more lime. They're probably like, why don't you just get a bigger lime spreader? So it's $80 to top off this lime spreader. Well, I can deal with that. If I got to come back and top it off 10 times, that's not that bad at all. It's less than $1,000. See if I can finish off this field, and I can kind of clear up the mess I did in the other field. But definitely taking care of your fields will help out your yield. I want to say, I haven't been doing the base game farming that much and for a while. I want to say lime is 15%. So when the field requires lime, might want to take care of it. Same thing with plowing and taking care of the weeds as well. And don't harvest in the rain, which is something that we can do now in Farming Simulator, but from what I've heard, you definitely don't want to be doing it. I did that in another game I used to do on here, Farmer's Dynasty. That was the thing we could do, was harvest in the rain, but the yield was so terrible. When I did testing in that game, I'm not saying this is for Farming Simulator 22. This was for Farmer's Dynasty. When I harvested in the rain, I did a test on that. I was getting like maybe 10-15% of what the field offered me before. I don't know what the ratio is in Farming Simulator 22, but it can't be that good. All right, a little bit of a wag here. And I should be able to finish off the first field here with what we got. I hope I can anyways. And I should be able to. Alright, so probably 3 more trips, maybe. And we'll have all the lime spreading done, and we can bring the Deutz back, and then bring the Fiat over. The mulcher is already over here. And we just got to take care of those 2 fields right there. And we'll be done with this side of the sorghum fields. So I shouldn't say sorghum fields anymore, because next year one of these fields is going to be soybean. Not all sorghum over here next year. And there we have it, all done with the lime spreading. I think it took me like 4 more trips. Didn't really count, but seemed like it was more than 3, so I'm going to go with 4. So I got a good amount of lime left over, but that's okay. I could always, there must be some place on one of my fields that could use some lime. Where I merged the fields over here together could use some. So let's see if I can go take care of that. That would be the wheat field. Now the crop has germinated and grown, but it's only in the first stage, so I'm not going to destroy any of the crop. And I'm not going to use that much lime, honestly, either. But we got it. Let's use it. And I think I merged the fields together like right about here. Yeah, that looks good to me. Now just to confirm, I shouldn't destroy the field or the crops. There we go. And did I miss it? Oh, wait a minute, because in base game, that's right, so I'm getting used to precision farming where we can spread lime after the crop grows, but in base game, when the crop grows, you cannot spread lime. Alright, yeah, kind of forgot about that. Alright, that's no big deal. With only a little bit of lime, I probably wasted like $40 worth of lime there. Let's go ahead and bring the Deutz back. Spin around here. You can see all the fabric starting to pile up nicely. I should be putting that away instead of leaving it outside in the rain like I have been, but it's all good. And put you away. Yeah, someone did say I probably should buy more land. Honestly, not so much on that. We got plenty of land here. We got plenty of fields to be working in. And we got more than what we need, actually, I think. Not to say that buying more land wouldn't benefit us in the long run, but since we're probably going to be finishing up at the end of next year, I won't get my money back on the field. I mean, I could, you know, harvest it and then resell land. But if I was going to resell the land, I could resell my land right now and probably be pretty close to paying off the loan itself. And besides, it's kind of nice having other fields that farmers own. And you can see them, well, not them actually working on it, but you can see the fields change from one year to another from different type of crops. It would be kind of cool if we could actually see other farmers working in the fields, but I think that would be too much for the game to handle. Seeing like, let's say you're playing on a bigger map with more fields, having 10 other tractors in fields, you know, changing over things, but oh well. Okay, let's go ahead and unfold the John Deere mulcher as it is now. Nope. Stay on, please. Thank you. And let's mulch these sorghum crops down into the ground. Too bad you don't get like a stage of fertilization from doing this. Although there might be a mod out there that will allow us to do so. Just like there is a mod out there for chopped straw. So if you had a crop that you usually get straw on, but instead of making a swath of it, you chop up the straw, you can get a stage of fertilization from the chopped straw. And I do believe the mod is called the chopped straw mod. It'll add a stage of fertilization. It does not work with precision farming that I know of. Still got this steep hill over here. Well, the steep hill's always going to be here, but I have not really gotten rid of the field on the steep hill part. So next year, this field will be soybeans, which will all be just stored and sold at the best time. See our greenhouses, which one's got the sunflowers, and which one's got the cotton, along with strawberries. All the greenhouses are making strawberries. Little John Deere sure does get the work done. It's nice actually having an implement of a 2-in-1, meaning it mows and mulches. And it's definitely nice to have when it comes time to mow the grass, which I got to convert this over to very soon. Start cutting up the grass and yeah, we'll start rolling it on up, getting it baled, which will probably be next episode. And then we'll zip on through the winter, because after we get done mowing it and baling on up those silage bales, We don't have any more field work to do. So it's just a matter of taking care of the animals, selling sheep when we have very mature sheep. We got to sell the eggs, so we'll zip on through. And then, of course, in January-ish, sell the silage. And I'm hoping by then to get the loan down to like 650, 600,000, if that's possible. Maybe we'll do a little bit of firewood in the winter months. I think it's going to seem a little bit weird next year when we get the soybeans planted over here. Just because it's been like 3 or 4 years now. It's always been sorghum, sorghum, sorghum. But we got a good stockpile of sorghum for our horses, so I think they're all set. Because if I didn't think they were all set, I'd be planting all sorghum back here as well again. Yeah, horses just take a long time to mature and reach their top value. And unfortunately, the horse training facility didn't quite pay off like I was hoping it would. I'm starting to get a little nervous about doing anything with animals in the future that have extra production buildings. We tried the meat production building with pigs. That didn't work out. We tried the horse training facility. That hasn't worked out. At least with the cows on hinterland, it's not the cows that are really making the money. Well, the cows do make the money on that map, but it's their byproduct of milk, slurry, and manure that's going to pay off for us in that one. Right, one little small piece back here, and then we got to head back to the farm. I don't know technically what we're doing to the mower when we get back, when we change it from a mulcher to a mower. I mean, I know what it does in game, but I don't know exactly what we have to change to switch over from a mulcher to a mower, because some mowers are mulchers. So I guess, you know, a mulcher really, what it does, it just really grinds up everything into a fine little pieces. That way it gets into the ground, I suppose. So take off the mulching blades and put on regular blades, like on a real mower, I suppose. Of course, we don't have to pay for it because we have already done so a while ago. So it costs us nothing other than going over to the toolbox and taking care of it. And we'll start cutting up some grass. As you can see, the grass is ready. And I think I waited long enough in the morning so the morning dew has dried off, so the grass is ready to be cut. Not that you technically have to do that. Although that was another feature in FS19 with the Seasons mod, to where the grass could get wet, or the crops could get wet overnight. You have to wait for the crops to dry. What I want to customize, that's what I want to do. And mulcher, no. And then customize for 0. And how bad is the mower? Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's all set. All right, reattach the mower, and we should be all set. Although I do have the wood splitter still in the grass field over behind the sawmill, so I may move that later on, or I could just go around it. It doesn't take up that much space, so I'd probably lose out maybe on a couple 100 liters at most, if that. I was actually kind of surprised that the grass fields that we have, but of course we got this big bonus field back here. When I was buying the fields, I thought I was going to need all the grass fields to keep up with the sheep and the horses. But like this year, 2 of the cuts we've done are going to be for silage. So just trying to have a peek at where the tree stumps are. I don't remember where they're at. I can see a couple. Oh, there's one there. Let's go around that one there. And we're all set. Now I know the boundary lines. So yeah, I've been a little bit surprised that every cut does not need to be hay. But that's good for the farm. We can just go ahead and make silage bales and sell them to other farmers. You see the stone pine trees are still in the first stage of growth. They are taking a while to grow up. I actually have had a thought of possibly changing the couple of the grass fields over to, you know, plant some crop in it like wheat for the chickens, but I don't want to regret it by doing it and then like, oh, I fell too far behind on the hay now, and now I need to get caught up on it. So I think just making money off silage is good enough. Of course, we got the grass field up behind Earl that we got to go take care of as well. Yeah, I really don't see us doing any forestry work down in the forest area. We've taken a trip down there, I know once, maybe twice we've been down there. It's kind of snug down there. Even to get like the firewood splitter down there would be a little tricky. And I don't want to get all the way down there and buy land. That's going to be kind of expensive to find out that those trees are even worse off in the wood splitter than the spruce trees that we have. It seems like the trees need to have like a really thick base, like the spruce trees here, in order for the wood splitter to work. And as we just saw, we sold the wood this morning for $11,000, and that's on hard economy. And that is from 3 trees. And that's just the base of the trees, like the first, I would say, like 10 meters of the trees. I'm wondering if I'll ever get to the stone pine trees. Gotta wait for them to get full height. But with the amount of spruce trees that we have, those alone may be sufficient enough for the sawmill and making firewood. That's why I keep on making firewood, because I believe we got plenty of lumber around here to be shipped off to the sawmill to keep that going. Let's work our way around the wood splitter. I kind of like the location of it, so I don't want to move it, actually. I'll be a little bit lazy about it. But as you can see, we're not going to be losing that much grass that we're not cutting. There, we should be all set there. Looks like the deer are coming out trying to get the last bit of grass before we cut it. So even though we are paying the overnight fee for the wood splitter of like $500 a month, as long as I do 1 trailer load a month while we have it, that's more than fine. Make $11,000 and pay $500 a day for it. Of course, we do have hourly fees, but I don't think I've even gotten up to a half an hour usage on that yet. I am hoping also in November we'll have some sheep to sell. That'll be a good 13 grand every time we do so. I think this will make myself feel a little bit better by the time we get done mowing this grass here. I think we'll pay off $10,000 of the loan. But by the end of October, we should have that loan down to 800,000. And if I get lower than that, even better. Well, these two fields are done, so I got the one up behind Earl, which I'll take care of in between episodes. And then I'll probably do most of the windrowing in between episodes as well. Let me fold this on up here. It's getting near the noon hour, so I'll probably just stop and have a quick little snack break. Let's go into our financial page, and let's go ahead and we'll repay off at least $10,000. So like I said, $10,000 more, which I could do right. You know, let's go ahead and just do it. Let's go ahead and just do it. If I'm going to do it by the end of the month, I shouldn't need any money for anything else today, I don't think. So we're down to 800,000. Did I end up paying off any loan recently? No, I thought I paid off some in September to see what we're doing here, but yeah, originally going way back when we had a $1.5 million loan, we were up to what, $4,800, maybe $4,600 a night in loan interest. We're down to $2,733. It's gonna be a little bit better as we move along. But yeah, if we go over to our stock page here, yeah, we're approaching 400,000. So, of course, that's going to get better in a few months here. Actually, next month, November, we got almost $40,000 worth of eggs. And everything we sell basically is going to be going into paying off the loan, which will help us save money every month as we move along. And yeah, that little wood splitter over there after the first two times was kind of frustrating. The third time, still a little frustrating, but we can see the benefits paying off now once I have learned exactly how to use the trees to our best benefit. 1/3 of the tree, or actually it's more than that, if you want to look at how many liters it could actually hold, but because the base is thicker than the top. But 1/3, the bottom half of the tree, gets split into wood, and then the other 2/3 get brought over to the sawmill, and the sawmill still has like 60,000 liters of wood into it. So that's going to be running good for quite a while. Yeah, we're doing rather well here. And I think the goal by the end of next season, paying off the loan, is reachable, is in sight. But we'll see how we move along here. But anyways, that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in Selendra. But until then, have a good one.